Puffy locks. Ooh, that's I like that. That sound good. Puffy locks instead of Goldilocks. Puffy locks. That's my little new bro. Anyways, I know y'all ain't seen me in a long time, girl. I had a song about that. It was "Hey Mr. MIA," and I don't mean Miami. I ain't seen you in a while. You like the shadow on Groundhog's Day, girl. Anyways, what it is yo girl Cadillac. I am Cadillac Dixon. I'm the drama like prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Helping! Because you got to hold your breath for justice, to see justice before all face to bleak. Yes, hiss your girl Cadillac. Anyways, forgot a bill due today. Girl was due tomorrow, but I needed to, make plans or whatever. Girl, you can't even live your life for a moment without missing something. Like for real. But I'm not doing this in 2025. No, I am not. All my stuff, listen here, I transferred it all to my father's name, right? So I am my father's dependent. So all of that stuff, that's none of my cares. I'd be like, I'd be like, Lord Jesus, my bill due. And he'd be like, oh, okay. And the Holy Spirit, he just been guiding me. He been taking care of it. And I have not been worried about these bills like I was last year in 2024, right, girl? Wherever the year starts, right? Whether it starts now, it starts in March, wherever it starts. I'm not doing that. I am not worrying and revolving my life around that. But I am so glad to be back with you guys. It's been crazy. Y'all know that crazy story that I told of getting to. Okay, so this was a vacation. Like literally, I took a vacation, took a 2 week vacation. It was so crazy. I haven't told you about the vacation. Vacation was nice though, but I told you the story of getting to Chicago, like from Florida to Chicago. Girl, Orlando, what's them people called? TSA. Oh my good, they are so overwhelming on this side. It is not that bad, like when you coming from O'Hara from Chicago, but when you coming from Orlando to Chicago, oh my God, those people just get you so frantic, and it seems like it's for nothing. Like if y'all just take notes from the other TSA from other states, y'all would not like y'all be making people frantic and overwhelmed and anxious. Like the two times this year we went to Chicago, and the only time we got overwhelmed, frustrated, frantic was in Orlando. And I'm traveling as a companion to somebody that is sick and can be triggered by bouts of emotion, right? My sister is epileptic and they completely are overwhelming. Now, the people that are there to help assist, they're always really good. But girl, TSA need to, I don't know. They be doing too much. And I don't know if it's even calls for, but y'all overwhelm folks and cause certain issues. But okay, anyways, I'm going to tell the story trying to get home. Like, girl, okay. When I got to Chicago, I'm going to loosely tell the vacation because I got that in a whole nother video, right? So when we got to Chicago, the first day I was jet lagged. I was completely jet lagged. This was like, was it the 14th of December or something like that? It's one of them days. I was like completely jet lagged because I didn't get no rest before. I barely got to pack. I barely got any rest because I closed that night at my restaurant and then had to catch the plane at like 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning we had to get to the airport, go through that over and 3 in the morning. By the time we got there, it might have been 4. Why is TSA so like go through, push your stuff through, push your, like, girl, at that time of morning, like, I thought because this was an earlier flight, we were going to be able to, it wasn't going to be so frantic. I thought it was just frantic that one time that we went in October. And then when we came back through O'Hara, it wasn't like that. So I'm thinking it was just that one time, right? So I get dressed, I barely get my stuff together, and we get out and we're out to catch the plane. So we get to TSA. Last time in October, my sister, she is epileptic. The moment she reached the TSA, they asked for her ID and she blanked out. She went to season, but we had a person that would help with the wheelchair. They pushed her up there to TSA. I was so glad she was in a wheelchair so she didn't end up on the ground. Okay, so when she's seizing, most people go crazy, they get frantic, and I'm like, I stay calm, and I'm like, she's epileptic, she has a chain, it'll show you it's a medical chain. What's her issue? And just they already, oh, do we call them? What do we do? Do we need 911? No, just let her finish seizing. There's nothing you can do. If you take her to the emergency room, literally not too much you can do because this is a part of her life, right? The only time we really have her go to the emergency room is if she hit her head and she has physical damage. That's when we're letting her go to the emergency room. So we're like, she's fine. So this time we get through TSA and they were so overwhelming. Push your stuff through, push it, because we had two babies. My granddaughter, grandson. My grandson was turning 6 months. My granddaughter is 2 years old. I have my sister who is has an illness, and then me and my daughter. So my daughter kind of took the lead. She had everybody's boarding passes. She had the IDs. That was the idea this time. Just give her all the IDs so we don't have to keep pulling them out. One person has everybody's ID and boarding pass. So we get through TSA, even though they are overwhelming us. Money got so overwhelmed that because they push you, they literally, we are, it was two babies and three adults. We're five. We're gonna need, because you make us take off our shoes, our jackets, our everything, and then we have to put everything back on, plus the babies, and they had to get the babies out of the stroller and all of that. You know it's gonna take some time, but they're like, push the stuff through, push your stuff through, push your stuff. So literally, money loses because of that. The babies, my granddaughter's gloves and her, I think it was her shoe or something like that, lost half of her stuff. But we're going to Chicago. She's going to need her boots, like literally. So we in Orlando, the airport, you go on this little train or whatever that takes you over to the side where the plane is. So we get all our stuff. We get over there. The companion person, well, the person that helps push the wheelchair, he gets us over there. He's really nice. We give him a tip or whatever. I thank God for that man. That man was so gracious. So we get over there and Money like gets herself together and she goes back on the train to go back to TSA to get the lost items. But we wouldn't have lost our items if they weren't, like, I don't know. I don't know. Is there a place to complain about that? Because they ain't doing that in O'Hara. And I can guarantee you O'Hara is way more busy than Orlando. But Orlando could be busy, but I'm noticing that I only feel frantic like that over here in Orlando, right? Okay, so we get to Chicago and I am jet lagged that whole first day because I already knew if I made it on that plane, I was just going to sleep. I was just going to sleep. So my family's trying to wake me up. They're like, "You came all the way here just to to sleep?" And I'm like, "Yeah, pretty much. I don't sleep at home." So the first day they let me sleep. They didn't bother me. The second day when I woke up, my stomach felt weird. Like, I don't know. It's like your stomach is feels sick, but it's not until you move that you realize your stomach is sick. So when I moved, automatically I was like, "Ugh," I had to, like, that's weird. What is that? So I go ahead and try to get up, help my sister get ready. We weren't really planning on going too much or nothing. We were gonna see the family or whatever. But somehow I ended up getting really sick. Like, I ended up with the stomach flu. That's what I ended up having. I didn't even know that, which I should have knew because on the plane ride over there, I noticed that all the little babies were sick. Like, them babies were coughing their heads off, and it was a lot of people just hacking and coughing all over the plane. So I must have gotten something there or in the airport when we came, because we did have to wait a while at the airport before my aunt come pick us up. So realize I had a stomach flu. I can't hold water down. I can't hold food down. I can't hold nothing down. So I'm drinking all that because when I first got there, I'm like, ooh, they water tastes so good and this and that, because it tastes different from our water here in Florida. Because my aunt had this purifier thing, but it still tastes different. The bottled water tastes different than our water here in Florida. So I'm like, oh, they water tastes so good. So I'm going to town on their water. And then all of a sudden, it's like the taste of the water just changed. I'm like, what's going on? Girl, I was trying to find any and everything that could, I don't want this to keep doing that. I hate that. And I don't know why it can't be quiet. Why does that have to beep out loud like that? So I'm trying to find something that will settle my stomach. So my aunt ends up giving me Pepto Bismol, right? So that whole day went by. When I took the Pepto Bismol, I started feeling better. Okay, so 2 days had passed, and really the stomach flu don't last much longer than that. I was puking my brains out, like puking, which is so crazy. Puking, and then I had to, pee because I was drinking all this water. Like, so puke pee, puke pee, puke pee. I was all night in the restroom. Well, washroom. Since we in Chicago, we go. We this is just fun. A little joke that we do, that certain keywords that we say here in Florida when we go to Chicago, we say we need to coin it the right way so we don't stick out that we ain't from here, right? So the washroom. I was in the washroom that whole night. So the next day I started feeling better, and like, as in I was able to eat, but the whole time I was in Chicago. Now, Chicago be about food. I want the Italian beef. We got to get the Italian beef. We want the Chicago hot dog. We have to have a gyro. We have to. My auntie, oh gosh, no disturbing. My auntie is the cake lady. Girl, I should have did interview with her, but I was so sick. But caramel cake, that was my favorite caramel cake. From my grandmama, she used to make the caramel cake, and she taught all her daughters. My mama kind of made the caramel cake a little bit different from my aunties. Gosh, come on now. Do we have to do all that noise? So, and peanut butter cookies with the little pressed little fingertips, and oh my gosh, like, it's about food when we get there, right? So I was eating, but I could not eat. I noticed I couldn't eat a lot. Like, I literally, my aunt would be like, she fixed the plate so big, just like my dad does. And I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings to where they thinking I just don't want to eat their food. No, baby, Kita likes to eat, and Kita don't get to eat like this, like, for real. So I would love to eat all your foods and such, but your portions are too big. Ugh. So I would have to tell my aunt, please just fix me a half. Because literally, what I would do when she did fix that big plate, I would put it in the fridge and I eat half in the middle of the day, and then I eat another half a little later. But literally, I was like, I can't even keep up with all the leftovers I have now. So can you just make my portion a little smaller? And she would call herself making them smaller, but they were still big plates. So, mind you, I was not eating that much, but I'm just drinking, drinking, drinking. I'm like, okay, maybe this will satisfy my thirst. And pop, when you get to Chicago, you want some pop. And that's another word because we say soda here in Florida. So we got to catch ourselves. Don't you get in there talking about, can I get a soda? You better ask for a pop. Can I get a pop? Does a pop come with the meal? Because that's the first time when we went to Sharks. He was like, get you a pop. The pop comes with the meal. Oh, okay, the pop. And my daughter was like, yeah, make sure you say pop. Ain't no soda, mom. So I'm eating, but I can't eat that much. So then we went out to, we did the sledding. We got to see snow. It did snow, which my daughter was thinking it wasn't going to. Now, God bless y'all. Y'all having a blizzard and stuff. That's too much. I'm glad I made it home, but I'm sorry for you guys and praying for you guys that's going through all that. I couldn't have, if I couldn't do it this little bit of snow and cold weather that y'all had a couple weeks ago, I definitely couldn't have been in no blizzard with y'all. I would have been gone. The old me dead and gone. Just like TSA. Shoot. I might not have made it back. And I already almost didn't make it back. Okay. So we did the sledding one day. Then we did, what else did we do? We did the Willis Tower. We did the Bean. Money wanted to go ice skating out there, but it was just too, you have to set up basically your appointed time to ice skate out there because that gets really crowded. So we did that. We did a lot like outdoorsy things. And coming from Florida, I did not know. Like we're like, oh, it don't even feel that cold. How is it in the 20s? But what we could not figure out, when Florida is in the 20s, we would feel so cold. But we were in Chicago 20s and could not, well, it was 17, I think, the lowest that it got there while we were there, 17 degrees. So we couldn't understand why we don't feel that cold here, but we feel like absolutely cold when we're in Florida. Like now, Florida today, I believe this morning was 38 degrees, which we hardly see weather like that. And they're saying we're going to drop to lower than that. But that's because they're having a blizzard like up in the Midwest area and north. So that's why it's so cold here. Like people in Florida don't realize why it's so cold. But it literally, I don't know why, but it feels like I'm colder here than I was there. Okay, so my dad then gave us the rundown. He didn't want us to go during the summer. He was like, y'all gonna get frostbite, y'all nose is gonna fall off, y'all fingertips gonna fall off. So that's all we looking for, right? We looking for our appendages to fall off. So we doubled up our gloves. I'm like, we ain't even cold like that. It ain't that bad. We blowing our breath just like that. And my daughter's like, oh, look, you can see the smoke in the air. Oh, and I'm, yeah, I see the smoke in the air. Okay. And then, so I'm still eating my little small portions and just trying to drink anything. Like nothing was satisfying my thirst. I had cranberry juice. That didn't do it. I had orange juice. That didn't do it. The water wasn't doing it. I had seltzer water. That wasn't doing it. I drank some of everything except for I don't think I had no milk. The pop, I left that go because that just wasn't even tasting right. I'm like, nothing pop just ain't popping. Nothing just ain't nothing right now. Like, what is going on? So we were there for 2 weeks. So it comes down to the day to come back, the day that we were coming back home. It started out I already knew it was going to be challenging because that morning my sister had a seizure as we were about to get ready. And like instead of Florida, Florida, you could take your little shower and go your tail on outside. You don't do that there. I learned you take your shower hours earlier, or even if you could the night before, because you don't want to be just jumping out no shower and heading out into that cold weather. So that morning when we got up early because our flight wasn't to like 4 or 5 ish, right? So my sister, when she got up, she had a seizure. Now I know when Kristen, my sister, has a seizure once, she's probably gonna have a couple of them later in the day. Okay, so I just got to be prepared. She gets ready, I get ready. My aunt was cooking up a storm. She had finally made that peach cobbler, and I was trying to eat it all. She had peach cobbler and ice cream. I took a little video of it, and I was trying to, I wanted to eat it so bad because I have not had those things since my mother passed away. My mother was the one that cooked those types of things, right? Okay. And we ain't had no good mac and cheese since mama been gone. Oh. Anyway, and potato salad. Couldn't nobody make no potato salad like my mama made the potato salad, girl. Ain't had none of the such since she been gone. But my auntie made peach cobbler. I sure tried to eat it, but I still couldn't. And she even made me the smaller portion. And then at that last plate, she was like, "Okay, I'll divide it between you and your granddaughter, cause you ain't eating." And I'm like, "Please don't take it bad. I am not." We even went to their Chili's the day before, and I literally could not even eat. I took a couple of bites. Now when we go to Chili's here, I clearly can eat my. I don't eat it all right away. I eat some and then come back to it, but it'd be gone. Like, girl, I could not eat all of that. But I knew I couldn't take that with me on the plane, right? So finally, it's time to go to the plane, right? So my aunt and my uncle, they drop us off to the O'Hara right in the front where you drop off, and we were flying Southwest. So they helped get all them luggage. My uncle's like, "Please, next time y'all come, don't y'all bring all them luggage. Leave some at home," which I didn't realize that I would be able to wash there. I wouldn't have brought as much stuff. Okay, we didn't know how to dress. We knew we needed layers. We had everything. Like, we had been researching this cold weather stuff, girl, for real. So I think we had too much stuff for the winter time, right? We didn't really do that during when we came in October. He was like, "Just please don't bring that much." So the moment he lets us out and helps us get all of our luggage to the curb, we get ready to go in and push the luggage in so we could check it in. The moment we get in, we finally get in because everybody, we have more baggage than handlers, right? We have three of us, but we had eight luggages altogether because we got two kids, right? Two babies. So we get to the lady's halfway checking our baggage in, and she asked for all adults over 18 to give their ID. So we gave our ID to my daughter. My daughter was in charge of the IDs. So as soon as my sister hands her ID, my sister goes into season. But remember when I told you, when she had that one, my sister will do so good. It'll be months and months and months and months and months before she has a seizure, to where you thinking she's just healed. Y'all seen that video I released where she was going down the water slide. Like, I'm thinking, thank you, God. I just wish mom could have seen her healed like this. And I'm still going to say she's healed, because to see where she came from to where she is now is still way better. But I knew when she had that one seizure that morning, it was going to be another to follow. It's usually three. Okay. So she gets to the gate, and as soon as she hands the lady, hand me the ID to give to the lady, she falls out seizing. So she's seizing, and I realized, because the first thing my sister will stop, But then it'll go into like if she's saying something, you'll hear a repetitive, it'll be that, and I hear that, and I'm like, oh, not now, not now. So I immediately, she'll be standing there for a minute, but I know she's going down. So I get behind her and I cuff behind her and brace myself because she gets very heavy when she goes into seizing. And I stop her. She's not laying out on the floor. She's like leaning against my legs. And when she finally stops seizing, she, because we had just ate. We just had that ice cream. We just had that, all of that stuff, and it was gone. So the lady checking in the baggage tells my daughter, I'm telling you right now, y'all ain't gonna fly. And I'm like, no, she's not sick. She's not sick. I said, she's epileptic. Oh, yeah, they not gonna let you fly sick like that. And I said, she's not sick. There's nothing she could do about this. Even if you set her up to fly 2 days later, she's still going to do that because also what triggers her seizures, every single time we went to Chicago, I promise you, every single time she has seizures, because it's also attached to her emotions. She gets very excited. Even though she may not look excited on the outside, her emotions are like this and they cause seizures. So she was most likely, the time she had the seizure coming was because, well, the last time was because she was so excited to go to Chicago to see our family and whatever. When she was coming back, it was probably because she was sad from leaving and excited to get home, all of that. So it also deals with emotion. So I'm trying to explain to the lady she's not sick. She's just, she's epileptic and her emotions are, catching up to her. Well, they not gonna let you fly. So I really think the lady flagged us, right? Meanwhile, I had got back sick. Remember, I had the stomach flu when I had got there on the 15th or so. We're coming back on the 29th. I thought I was better, but all of a sudden, the day we were flying back, my stomach again was doing that thing where I could not hold nothing. And I'm like, what stomach flu lasts this long? This don't even make no sense. Not knowing, what I found out later is that I became dehydrated. I was completely, like, severely dehydrated. And that is why I was also getting those stomach feelings. Like I was the one that really was sick, but I keep my cool. You ain't gonna know I'm sick, right? But my sister wasn't sick. She was seizing. So the lady had done flagged us, talking about y'all ain't gonna fly today. Y'all, and I'm like, why is she being so mean? Y'all ain't flying today. And I'm trying to explain to her. So really, she was supposed to call the wheelchair person after she checked our baggage, but because she was doing that, I'm like, they're not even gonna let us fly. Let's just try to walk. So I'm telling my sister, I'm giving her baby wipe. Wipe yourself off. Wipe yourself off. That's when we started heading towards TSA, but we were trying to walk through it with my sister instead of her being wheeled through. And plus, the last time, every time when we get to O'Hara, and we try to wait on the wheelchair, it almost makes us miss the plane. So we had to do that walkthrough as well with my sister last time in October because they take a long time to come with the wheelchairs. So we're like, she's trying to clean herself up, and I'm like, just go, we're gonna just walk, we're just gonna walk. And we reach TSA, and it is another issue. But I'm gonna stop this one right here because I gotta go pay that bill. I got to go do a couple other things, and then I'll be right back with y'all. It gets worse than that. Like, girl, I grace of God, we got home. Thank you, Lord Jesus. He just seen us through. And he is the only reason that we made it back to Florida. All right, guys, here's your girl Cadillac.